My name is Vijay Chun. I've been in Holland now 14 years. I'm from, of course, from Korea, South Korea. And I have finished my school, my university in '99. And I worked in Korea about 7 months in an American company, in a finance company. And after that, about in May 2000, I came to Holland. And I had several jobs in Holland until now. So now I'm working for the Korea Trade Center, in other words, a Korea Business Center. We are the government organization, semi-government organization, which is promote trade and investment between Korea and Holland. So my task is actually branch service. That means if mid-small Korean company want to have a business within Holland, I'm helping for them. I mean, okay, I can tell you about before they enter the Korean company and during let's say, after they got a job, so let's say, whenever they work in a Korean company, like in Korean companies, of course, the function, how do they work, that's also most important. But also the other words, the Korean companies are a little bit less flexible than compared to Dutch company. So that means, like a Dutch company is more there for the efficiency, let's say, whenever they start to work at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, then they can stay 1 hour or longer. Or if they have something, they can arrange their time management more for themselves. But Korean companies are more a little bit strict. So let's say whenever, in our case it's a bit different, but we have a little conservative system. So if we're supposed to start at 8 o'clock, let's say, everybody has to be on time, 8 o'clock. So the other things, not only for work itself, their personal attitude or diligence, those kind of things is also one of the most important factors. We liked, of course, socialism, to get along with teamwork, those kind of things. I think it's not really big different compared to Dutch company. But I think according to Korean cultures, we are more like collective people. And I see the Dutch people are more like individualism, let's say.
Yeah.
Maybe in a negative way we can say the egoism, but I mean, I can tell more like personalism and individualism. So in Korean companies, they think more important how can I say, to work together, to helping the colleague more because when I had the experience with Dutch companies, sometimes whenever they are busy with one work, they want to concentrate. So whenever I interrupt some people, they said, "Not now," you know what I mean? So I have to do things like that. But according to my experience with the Korean people, even if they are busy with something, but if colleague asks something, they are trying to help. I think more or less, I think same. But in Korea also, as far as I know, the cover letter, the self-introduction is also very important. I think in Holland, as far as I know, the CV resume has to be very simple, just bullet point like that.
Yeah.
But in Korea also, the resume itself is just simple, the bullet points. But also, always there has to be self-introduction letter. It's kind of cover letter, but it's a little bit Korean style. Who am I? But some Dutch people use that one. But in Korean companies, CV and self-introduction letter is one of standard. Education level is very important, and also thing is language ability. I mean, the Korean, of course, English is very important for Korean people, because most of Dutch people, they can speak English, so in Holland, so everybody can speak some certain level, so it is not important how their English is good, because everybody can communicate. But in Korean, for Korean people, it's a little bit difficult to measure what is their language level. So always there is a TOEFL or TOEIC maybe. Anyway, the language test level point, that is one of the most important. I think the open application, open sollicitatie in Holland, that's pretty common, but in North Korea it's not like that. So we for us it's open. The application is not very common compared to Holland. And normally the company, for example, big company like Samsung, Hyundai, those kind of company, they put the advertisement, some website or the newspaper, then people apply. And then what is also there? Sometimes also they do through the also headhunter, but that's more for the experienced people, but for beginners, just like a website. And there's a lot of how can I say portal site for the, like a monster board like that. Also that is also existing in Korea. For beginner is not really big difference, but of course in Korea sometimes it happens. Like for example, some guy is the family of, there's some certain level of company. Like for example, my uncle is the executive director of, for example, Hyundai. Then maybe can get some plus point, but that's unofficial way. That can happen, but most of big company they do in a very fair way with the HR team. They are doing good, and I think for networking, they got a job through the network is more or less for foreign company in Korea. So just a normal domestic company, they are just open, put an advertisement, they recruit people. But like for example, foreign company in Korea, like a British embassy or Dutch embassy or American company, Unilever Korea, those kind of companies have their own network. So they had a little bit sneaky, a little bit not very open.
So they don't put it out on the internet.
Sometimes they do that, but I mean, maybe they put that just for show off. I don't know. They just because they have to follow the official rule. But according to my experience, like a foreign company in Korea, they prefer to find the people through the network, like through the reference, those kind of things. I think also of course the degree, diploma, and also different things between Korea and Holland is like in university or school in Holland most of school has some similar level, let's say.
Yeah.
But maybe you have experience. Korea has a first class university, second class, and third class. For example, some universities, Seoul National Universities, like America, Harvard, Stanford. That's also some important things. And as I told you, and also language ability. But what I heard is sometimes the position, what they're looking for, sometimes, like for example, they are looking for someone in domestic sales team, then in that case, they don't need any English ability because they need just only Korean language. I was asking someone who is in the HR team, which I don't understand, but they told me that the English ability, that is a kind of measurement of the diligence of that people. So, of course, it's only English ability, but that's a kind of measurement. Oh, he prepared. I mean, he's a good guy. He's a good student to prepare to get a job, not only for English. You know what I mean?
Okay,
yeah.
so it's language ability is in any way important.
Yes.
Either you're looking for a job in Korea or like overseas.
Yeah.
That's very good to know.
Oh yes, of course. How do they look? To be honest with you, I think appearance is pretty important. Same as when you see the beautiful woman, give a good impression. But of course, not everybody does need to be like an actor, but actor and actress. But how can I say neat? They have to look neat. Good suit, but doesn't need to be expensive suit. But if someone came for the interview with a Hawaiian shirt with a thong, so those kind of thing. And also always first they apply. I think same here. Apply with a CV and self-introduction letter, and then they want to see the face-to-face, and they always ask some question, what you gonna do in like a situation question, those kind of things. So, what is your strongest point? Or what is your weakest point? How do you work with a colleague? So I think those kind of questions are very boring and standard question, but it applies to all over the world.
Yeah, so it's not really different from culture to culture. It would be the same.
No. Special company, I heard that they go together to play game or something like that. Yeah, some board game, you know, like because they want to see how do they work together with the other people. But that was a very special case. Some companies they do. But funny thing is, I don't know in Holland, but in Korea, whenever you come for interview, you got money. Like for example here also, if someone came to having an interview and they pay for train ticket, those kind of thing. But in Korea, like if someone apply, I don't know how much, depends on company, but from 50 euro to 100 euro, you
get money to get interviewed.
Yes.
Oh, so that's quite good to know.
I did. Yeah. So so if someone apply 3 times per week, at least they can get some pocket money.
Yeah, that's quite good.
But that's all the company. But the big companies is pretty common.
Okay.
Like for example, big company like a Hyundai, Samsung, those kind of company. Also, big different thing also from Holland is as a last step, they do some physical exam. I mean, it's not like police, like running, not like that, but they have to go to a hospital. They have to check some eyes, you know, the condition, you know,
really?
If it has some disease or those kind of things. So I think there's also some big difference.